Okay, now we're going to talk about choosing a real estate brokerage. Obviously, this is going to apply just to my fellow real estate agents out there, but I've seen one of the many forms of paralysis by analysis that I've seen really cost people a lot of money is just this endless search into brokerages and what they offer and what they don't offer, the benefits and the drawbacks and such. So, I mean, I've seen people spend months just trying to figure that out. And the problem is that until you get into the brokerage and you've been there for a little while, you're not really going to have an idea of how helpful they are or aren't. So I've only been with two in the almost 3 years now that I've been a real estate agent. The first was run-of-the-mill Keller Williams Brokerage, which worked out pretty well for me. I would say the leadership at the office was great. They had really, really high quality training, which helped me out a lot. Group coaching, all sorts of fun stuff, events. I mean, they did a really good job of running it over there. So that worked out pretty well for me. But the problem was how expensive it is to be at a bigger box brokerage like that. So at that particular brokerage, my cap was $18,000 on basically a 50-50 split. So what that means is if I sell a $100,000 house, my gross commission would be $3,000. Out of that $3,000, the brokerage is going to take half, and I'm going to get the other half, and that's going to continue to happen with every unit that I close until I hit that $18,000 mark, which I think it was like $3,000 was a royalty to Keller Williams, and the other 15 was to the actual brokerage. So you can imagine, especially if you're first starting out, maybe only selling $1 million or $2 per year, that chunk is absolutely huge. So, some stuff happened. I don't know if I made a video about it or not, but I ended up getting kicked out of that brokerage. I think on some bullshit, but from a corporatist standpoint, it makes sense as to why they told me to leave, basically. I don't think fired is an appropriate term because that implies that I was employed by them. You're not as a 1099, you're your own boss, even if somebody else is taking half the money you're taking in. So after that, I went to another broker, now with a $5,000 cap. So that's less than a third of what I was paying at Keller Williams on a 90-10 split, meaning that if I sell a $100,000 house, $2,700 of that $3,000 goes to me, which is absolutely fabulous. The difference is staggering. I mean, not only am I saving, like 13 grand on a yearly basis, I'm also getting a much higher percentage of my commission up front, which makes it a lot easier financially, when you're first starting off, especially. And I would have to say one of the biggest trends I've seen among real estate agents is that they, again, as a kind of classification or a manifestation of paralysis by analysis, they think that, I'm going to be at this brokerage and it's going to solve my problems with the amount of deals that I'm getting, or, I'm going to be with this brokerage and it's going to solve all the commission objections I'm getting, or it's going to solve this, that, or the other negative thing, and it almost never will. The thing with sales is that a lot of it comes down to persuasion, influence, how you speak, how you carry yourself, and your brokerage in no way, shape, or form is going to influence that. When I'm out prospecting, people might ask me who I'm with, and I just tell them my brokerage, Great Lakes Real Estate, and that's it. I've noticed zero difference between, whether or not people have an issue with who I'm working for when I was with the Keller Williams brokerage versus Great Lakes Real Estate. If you're not from Michigan, a lot of stuff we'll like name it after the Great Lakes and stuff. So you'll have all Great Lakes contracting, Great Lakes appraisals, Great Lakes inspections, Great Lakes real estate, whatever. So it's a very, it doesn't sound like it's out of towny, and that's about it. So the only drawback kind of is that at this office that I'm at now, or the brokerage rather, there is no physical office. So it's kind of like eXp Realty in that regard, which I thought might be an issue, but it's really not that big of a deal. Just do your buyer consultations at the house that you're seeing, and obviously when you're going to list a house, you're going to go to their house anyway. So I mean, it's not like having a big name or well-known brokerage won't help a little bit, but it's like, you can pay, who knows, 3, 4, 5 times the amount per year in a cap to get this much benefit, or you can work on your skills and the level of service that you provide, which a lot of times doesn't cost that much money, and get this much benefit along with actually doing a better job, instead of just thinking, well, instead of doing a better job, I'm just going to go to this brokerage with more star power behind my name, and that way, I won't have to work on the level of service I provide, right? So that's kind of where I think a lot of folks get hung up. Paralysis by analysis in general is a big problem with people in real estate, and I think that has to do with the fact that the perception of real estate, whether it's investing or sales, two totally different things, by the way, but the entire perception of the industry is that it's very, very easy work. And so you'll have people who are kind of lazy attracted to the industry, and instead of digging in and working, something that they're naturally as a person averse to anyway, they'll, okay, well, this brokerage, how do I do my website? Here's what I'm gonna wear, here's my little brochures and pamphlets. So instead of picking up the phone or going to the door or whatever, they're sitting there, monkeying around in all sorts of asinine accoutrements to their business that at the end of the day aren't gonna make anywhere near as much of a difference as actually going out there, pounding the pavement, or figuring out something with online lead gen or whatever, as far as getting more business is concerned. So if you're an agent out there, just consider that. In the beginning, I mean, if you need a lot of training, as in you're not seasoned, then I could definitely see why you'd go with a bigger, more expensive office. And as long as the training they have that they do have is good, then hey, you're winning there, I suppose. But that's it. So if you have any questions about choosing a brokerage, feel free to shoot me a message or comment or whatever. I'd be happy to help you out.